The opinions expressed on the radio program by the hosts, co-hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.com, Genesis Radio's owners, management, or affiliates.
It's your boy DJ Rudd, the most interesting DJ in the world. I'm here with my partner, Kimberly Bass, and this is KK Part 2. Let's talk a little bit before we play this clip, then we're going to jump right in. I'm going to pass the torch.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We are definitely speaking about life insurance, the importance of it, and just putting some details out, informing the people on what some things that they need to know.
Listen, I want to play this clip. It's going to be like 2 minutes, and then we're going to sit back and we're going to have a conversation about what we just heard. Let's do it. Yeah, that was crazy. Kim,
Yeah, definitely.
let's shout out Susie Orman on that clip. First of all, no copyright infringements. We just using this as a learning and a lesson tool. You know, when you heard that, what did it make you think?
A lot of things. But first of all, it made me think that people will have a financial advisor and take their word for everything. Just because someone is a financial advisor, that does not mean that they're properly educated or even have the client's best interests when they're doing the things that they're doing. So right away, with her family paying so much for little coverage is a red flag for me.
That was a lot of money, but you know what? There's a lot of people in the same situation, and So those who don't know, Kim and I work together now. We worked together before. We worked at the city. It was the same thing. They let a life insurance company, no names mentioned, but they let a life insurance company come speak to us on our lunch break. Came on our lunch break, spoke to us, put us in a situation down the
It was more
road.
beneficial to them.
Right down the road, we found out we wasn't in the best situation. We were comfortable that we had something, just like most people. They have something, they're comfortable. But now that we know what we know, it's time for us to educate the people a little bit more based on what we experienced, so they don't have to make the same mistakes.
Absolutely. And she said it best, what she said. She said the type of insurance that they had weren't in their best interest and other things need to be in place. So that's where we're telling people something is better than nothing. However, having the best thing is always in your best interest.
So let's just say, an example, if you had $600+ a month and you could afford the and you wanted to have $750,000 of life insurance, what would be the play you would draw up on something like that? If the person's investment budget, including insurance, is about $600 a month, which that's kind of a lot if you think about it.
Well, it is a lot. It also depends on the person. Personalized. You can't give everyone the same thing because everyone doesn't have the same needs. Everyone doesn't have the two small children, right?
Facts.
Right. And everybody doesn't have the same expenses. So it has to be personalized. So you have to know exactly what it is that a person needs. And of course, that comes through asking questions to find out what that person needs. Um, but of course, we do know that they need to be protected and then they also need to be in a position where they can save for their future as well.
I agree. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't like insurance just because of these type of conversations. Once the light bulb comes on, and you're like, wow, what was I doing all these years? But you know what? There's hope out there because now, with all this information that's out here now, if you don't know, sometimes we just caught up in the everyday rat race. We trying to keep the lights on. Life is life, in as we say, and
Which is a good thing.
yeah, it's a great thing. But when you doing overtime, you're not gonna come home and start reading books on financial literacy. You're gonna come home, eat, take a shower, go to sleep, get ready for the next day. And you know what? Patterns, habits. Next thing you know, you could be doing that for a couple of years. I had my insurance policy at least 2 years before I even read the paperwork. At least, might have been more. I might be being nice to myself, but I didn't read that. I didn't read that paperwork.
You probably are being nice to yourself. I had mine for a lot of years, and I just trusted someone. So I'm not saying take the time out to find out everything on your own. Find someone that has the knowledge, that has your best interest at heart, and that's what you go with. Because if that was the case, we might not still be set up. We trusted someone to set us up, and then we also trusted them to show us how to do what they do. So it's definitely not something that someone that has to do on their own.
And you know what don't feel good? I couldn't tell you that person's name that sold me that policy. It was like no follow up there, no how are you doing, how because people's needs change from 4 or 5 years. It was not none. It was no follow up, no nothing. They sold me that policy. They were taking a little $40 out of my check. I didn't feel it at the time. I didn't think that was much. And a couple of years later, now I feel like I got. But initially I did trust him. He sounded good. It was a sales pitch, and I bought it. And I think many people bought it. So what we trying to say, I guess, is we agree with what we heard on that tape for the most part, because the only thing that we're not agreeing with, I guess, she didn't explain, what to do with the excess money. She said, yeah, you could have got term insurance for that amount a whole lot cheaper, but she didn't really explain, like, just saying invest the rest is not really enough. Like, what we talking about now is the power of compound interest, and we talking about how to skip the bank 1% savings account interest and all that, and find out how to invest it into the global economy. So could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, what I will say is that when people realize that they need to make changes, they should reach out to someone. They should find somebody that can help them set up. Because as I said, personalized to them on what they need and how they can benefit on what's out there.
I gotta say one thing, because I want to get to the nuts and the bolts of it. I don't even want to just say find someone. I want to say find somebody that's licensed in this, because there's a lot of companies and agencies. The people that you're dealing with really don't. They didn't pass the state exam.
Well, I was being,
Yeah, let's go there.
Specific and say find us.
Okay, well, let's get specific.
Yes, specifically find us.
All right.
Because we've been there. We know what it is. We are licensed. We are educated, and we're here to help. So basically, we want the younger version, and we help all people, but we want us now to be able to help the younger version of ourselves. So if someone would have told us what we know now back then,
we'd be in better position.
Right.
So I want to talk to my young self.
Okay, I'm sorry though.
No, go ahead.
Because we help all ages. So I want to put that out there as well. But the person that, like you said, they're at the job, they're working, they don't have time to look into these things. However, they know they need it. Right? We're here to help them.
No doubt. So what would you say to your younger self? And then I'll tell you what I was going to say to my younger self.
Listen to me.
Listen to you?
Listen to my older self, because I know now.
Okay.
So that's what I would say.
Well, what I want, it don't, like you said, there's really no age group on this, because this goes pretty much across the board. A lot of people we speak to, there's many people that say, you start talking about money and say, I'm good, I got insurance. A lot of that is from the job. And a lot of that, like, it was only $40 a month because my job had thousands of employees and they were getting a group discount. Well, once I left that job, and now I got to go at this age and try to get insurance, it's going to be much more expensive. I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand. Just because you have it at your job, it's going to change once you leave the job. You know what I mean? And even if you do the whole career at the job, if you still want insurance, you're going to be up in the age. It's going to be a lot more expensive. So it's better to have something outside, in my opinion, of what the job has. And I mean, take advantage of everything the job has. If they have a 401k and they match it. Use it. Yeah. But still have something outside, insurance-wise, investment-wise. And I'm just looking at my own situation with my kids and stuff. Like my daughter had like 3 jobs in the last 5 years. And that's not a chop on her. That's just how they moving now. So very few places even give pensions anymore. At 401ks a lot and other stuff, but very few pensions is available to the next generation. We might be the last of the Mohegans, as my man TP Square say. We might be the last of the Mohegans that's gonna benefit, or they're gonna stretch it out some other ways. They're gonna make them work another 2.5 years, or they're gonna have 20 vacation days instead of 27. They're gonna figure it out where the math works for them. How you feel about that?
It's true. It's a fact. I mean, you already know it. You learn a lot more about benefits and things like that when you do retire. So you definitely already know that.
But I get it. I mean, no matter if it's insurance or anything else, if we were to buy stuff in bulk, we gonna save money. You was the other day. We were talking about printing flyers.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You might get 100 flyers for like $60, but you can get 1,000 for like 100. You know, because they're gonna sell you on the bulk, and sometimes the insurance is like that too. Sometimes it's cheaper to get a $250,000 policy than it is a 175. You're like, well, how does that make sense? Makes sense because they selling in bulk. They want you to hit these marks, and it's a science behind it. I'm sure they figured it out. And another thing I don't like nowadays, I don't like talking to like AI technology, and it's so good. I definitely was on the phone having a whole conversation with somebody who I thought was a person, and then I asked them a question, I tripped them up, and couldn't answer the question. They said, "Well, wait, that's a very good question." I'm like, "This is AI. I didn't even know that." It was good. It was good. It was so good. I really thought I was talking to a person. I don't really. I guess I know it's a tool. I want to talk to a real person. I actually would like to meet the person. I'm old school. Now I don't buy cars and they deliver them to my house. I go, I kick the tires. I want to pop the hood. I guess in that sense, I need to lay my eyes on a person.
Okay.
I mean, look you in your eye. I need to get a vibe. Everything is like energy now. Certain moves, energy, connecting with people.
Okay.
Because we need to trust people. They are actually your financial advisor is making some pretty important decisions.
Absolutely true.
So, like I said, we got to make sure we talking to the right person. I mean, we like to say get a second opinion on everything, right? If somebody say you had to have a heart surgery, I'm sure you wouldn't just go let the first doctor cut you open. You might get a second opinion, unless you really knew that doctor was good and he came highly recommended, and you still might get a second opinion. You're talking about something serious, and I think we're talking about something equally as serious, if not even more serious. And how do you avoid running out of money when you get old? What do you think about that? I know you got some. I see that look on your face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a great question because bottom line is you have to be prepared. The goal is to live as long as possible, right? So that's one of the things that people fear now, running out of money. The sooner you start saving for your future, the better off you'll be.
All right. So is life insurance something I need to have my entire life?
Life insurance is an immediate escape, which means wow, you're saving, investing, getting your affairs in order. You have that money. Term insurance is good because it gives you the time to prepare by getting that money together.
So I think we were talking about this earlier. What happens if, God forbid, I don't make it all the way till I can to the retirement age or the to get to the pension plan and all that? What if I get hurt, disabled, or something like that? What would I need to have in place to make sure I'm good? Because there are a few things we can do to probably protect ourselves. We were speaking about this earlier.
You mean with the life insurance?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you have it. If you don't, you mean you don't live?
No, if you live, but say you become disabled or something and you don't get to finish, the term and stuff like that.
Okay, well that is a good question. And that's why not all life insurances are created equal because life insurances have riders, not all of them, but Some of them do have riders that can protect you if something like that were to happen.
So most of your clients, you're going to put them in that type of situation.
All of my clients that are eligible, yes, I am.
So what would make you not eligible?
Your age.
Okay. And I guess that varies from state to state. So as we talking to the whole world right now, that would vary state to state.
Yes, and I don't like to get into too much detail when it comes to that. A specific person, as I said, we personalize. So we base things personally
On a case by case basis.
Exactly. So that's how I would communicate with someone through specifics. What you need may not be the same exact thing I need.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm sure if we open our books, we gonna have something different.
right,
And it's rightfully so.
right,
Like you said, what your needs might be different, depends on, what you're trying to accomplish and what
absolutely.
family or what kind of legacy you're trying to leave behind. Or some people don't even worry about stuff like that. They say, when I'm gone, I'm gone.
Okay,
It's like you said, each individual got to make that decision.
right.
Yeah. So
Sometimes people don't realize that it's easier than you think. That's an easy way out to feel that way. We all want better for ourselves. We all want better for our families, right? We want to be able to be remembered in a good way. God forbid we're not here, right? So that's something that we definitely need to keep in mind. It is not hard to set something up where your family could be in a better position if you're not here.
that's true. All right. For this segment, what other bullet points we got on the menu that we want to speak about? Then we're gonna take a break and we'll go to the next segment of KKTV.
Well, that's really it. If anyone has any questions or needs any assistance, we are here. We've been there, and we're ready to help them change their lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how could they contact you if anybody wants to tailor something or plan for themselves? Tell them how to find
Oh, well, they can contact me. And listen, this is not an 800 number,
you.
right? So that makes it unique within itself.
It could be. We got one.
No, that's actually 888.
Say
If they
toll
call,
free.
they're going to speak to you, right? They're not going to speak to someone that can't find you, right? However, my number is 646-345-3276.
Say it again.
646-345-3276.
All right. And that's Kimberly Bass. And I'm Kenneth Rudd. You reach me, same number, or you can reach me at my email, which is krudd@genesisradio.com. That's K Rudd, RUDD, @genesisradio.com. So we're gonna conclude segment 2 of KKTV. And look, we here if you need anything or you had any further questions.